Alright, here we are at the SpaceX docking simulator. We're going to show you how this is done. So we start by clicking on Begin. And it starts, we see the ISS and we see our target in the middle, and we have some controls on the page. So let me explain those. You'll also see we have an axis here going from left to right and from top to bottom, but obviously we are off axis. We've got some controls here on the bottom right. These are for attitude, which is basically which direction the vehicle is pointing in. Up, down, left, right, rotate left, rotate right. This gives you large inputs versus small inputs. And then on this side, on the left side, we have the controls for actually moving the vehicle in relation to the ISS. Up, down, left, right, forward and back are the plus and minus. So we have a couple of things that help guide us here. You can see the target up here with this diamond, and that is the docking port on the ISS. Our interface here, there's a number of things that we can take to explain on here. We have our roll attitude, our pitch attitude, and our yaw attitude. You can see our roll attitude is currently off by 15 degrees, pitch by -20, and yaw by -10. The goal here is to get these three things to 0, and then what we'll do, we will get the roll, pitch, and yaw set to 0 using these controls on the right. And then we will position the vehicle exactly on target for the dock by aligning the Y axis and the Z or Z axis. So when X, Y, and Z are all at 0 meters, we will be docked, and also roll, pitch, and yaw will be at 0. So the way I like to do this is to start by rotating the vehicle to the left. We'll click just one time, that will be enough. Actually, that's the wrong way, sorry, click this way to rotate us counterclockwise. You'll see the axis straightening up. You'll also see this number right here. So clicking down, we can click that a couple of times. You'll also notice here we have the amount of thrust that we're putting in. So as we get close to 0, we want to basically bring that down. Oops, overshot it a little bit. There we go. All right. Next, let's work on our yaw. So it's at -10. We will do that by using the left control on this side. So let's click that maybe 3 times. And coincidentally, to stop it, we'll have to click 3 times in the opposite direction. As we get closer, we'll slow down. So we're down to 2. Oops, we'll show a little bit. I'm sorry, there's a heck of a storm going on right here. I don't know if you can hear that. And we actually watched the launch this afternoon. So we're not actually that far from the Kennedy Space Center, but there is a humongous thunderstorm going on here in Florida right now. Sometimes if you get this right on -1, a -0.1 or +0.1, it can be really hard, so it might be worth going a bit further and then trying again to 0 it out. Okay, we got it 0'd out. Our pitch is off a little bit. So let's straighten that up. Alright, so we've got 0 on the yaw, 0 on the roll. And let's correct our pitch, and for this we are nose down, almost 20 degrees down, so we're going to pitch up by clicking this control right here. We'll come up quite aggressively to start, and then we'll come back down. Alright, so it seems that we are way off, but that's okay because we've got our roll, pitch and yaw are all at 0. But you'll also notice our position in relation to the main axis out of the port in our Y and Z axis are off. So now we don't need to use these controls anymore. We're going to use these 3 measurements right here. And first of all, we're going to move to the left. Now this one we don't actually see the amount of thrust that we're putting in. So usually you can just count the number of thrusts that you've put into a particular direction and then reverse them as you get close. It's also pretty obvious. There we go. Alright, and the last one is we're too high. And you will also notice over here we have a range button that tells us our relative speed. Now, interestingly enough, so now you can see we have our target and our diamond and our port all lined up. You will notice that this z-axis occasionally drops. There is a setting in here to consider the effects of gravity, so I think that's what's going on there. Alright, so now you can see this slowly drops over time. So I like to just bump it up just a little bit above 0 to maybe like 0.1. And now you will see that we have our Y is 0, our Z is almost 0, and our roll, pitch and yaw are 0. So now you will also notice that we are well aligned with these hexagons. There's 1, 2, 3 hexagons that kind of help guide us in. So now at this point, we're going to use the forward thrust, which is this button right here, to go in towards the target. So I'm going to click this a bunch of times, but I'm going to count the number of times I click it so that I can click the decelerate or backward thrust to counteract that as I get closer. And you know what, I'm just a bit high here, so let me come down a wee bit. That's better. Okay, here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Alright, with that we are going to be moving, what, about a third of a metre a second. So one of the real challenges with this is making any movement too quickly. It's really very hard to correct. That's why I like to straighten the thing up first and then basically get all my axes lined up, and then I simply transition forward into the dock. You'll notice the Z axis is going to drop here in a second, and I will be ready to correct that. There you can see it dropping just below 0, obviously less than 1 decimal place. I don't know if there's a maximum speed here, but that's pretty quick at this point. And you can see we have Y, Z are 0, and roll, pitch, and yaw are all at 0. We're about 137 meters, so it's maybe 400 or 500 feet, something like that. I'm a feet kind of guy as opposed to meters. But we're closing in pretty rapidly. I think this is definitely considered rapid. You probably wouldn't want to go this fast. Whoops, let's stop. We're getting a little bit of something going on here. And the y-axis, there we go, corrected that. So we're now at 90 meters. Let's have a little bit of pitch up on the z-axis. We're really coming along at a pretty fast clip here. So what I'm really doing is keeping an eye on these three figures, the X, Y, and Z axis, because the pitch, yaw, and roll are pretty stable. You can see we've got our range here and our rate. So every now and again I just need to pitch that Z axis up a little bit. Otherwise we'll ultimately, oops, we'll get a wee bit of a drift there going on too. On the Y axis. And I'm going to slow down here pretty drastically as we get in closer. some reverse thrust here to slow us down. And I don't know if you can hear it, but that storm outside is really kicking. Some nice lightning going on too. Alright, so we're getting pretty close here. We're about 100 feet out, about 100 feet out, which is 33 meters-ish. Yaw, pitch and roll are all looking good. Y and Z are looking good. X is getting closer. And we're slowly coming into the docking port, right on the main axis of Y and Z. Okay, we're getting pretty close. I don't know what the maximum rate for docking is. Okay, I'm going to start slowing down now. I'm keeping an eye on our range as well as our rate. Okay, our rate is down pretty low. Let's bring it up just a bit. I want to bring our Z-axis up just a little bit more. I don't want any of those negative. I'd like them all to be 0. Okay, we're at 9 meters. We're about 25 feet now, roughly. Let's get that, keep that nose up. Okay, we're down to about 20 feet, so let's slow it down even more, I think. Um, 000 006. So at this point I'm not actually even eyeballing, I am actually using these measurements. Eyeballing it almost lines up, but not quite, as you can see. Okay, 5 meters, that's about 15 feet away. So you can see we're getting pretty close here. Don't let that nose drop. Okay, here we go. We're in the final stage, about 10 feet away. I'll slow it down even further. Sorry, slow it down even more as we get in here. 2 meters away, that's about 6 feet. Okay, I'm bringing it down. Get that nose up. There we go, 2.5 meters, that's about 7 feet. Okay, 1.5 meters, that's about 5 feet. Okay, we're about 3 feet away. So I'm going to slow it even further. Actually, it looks like we've stopped, so let's give it a tiny wee bit of thrust here. And 2 feet away. About 1 foot away. About a foot away now. Here we go. This should dock if we're lucky. And there we go. So it says success. You have successfully docked with the International Space Station. blah, diddy blah, 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 blah. And that is how you dock the Dragon capsule to the International Space Station. Hope you enjoyed that. If you like this, thumbs up, subscribe, all that nonsense, and we'll see you here. Thanks, bye-bye.